I'm going to pre-yell. Okay? This is important. Learn it now, memorize it, and don't ever forget it, because I'm going to ask you again. Ms. Potter's going to ask you next year. I'm going to ask you as an 8th grader. You're going to go to high school, most of you. And when you get there, your math teacher there is going to ask you too. When I am adding or subtracting fractions, I have to have a common denominator. Okay? 1 plus 1 is 2, and you have to have a common denominator to add and subtract fractions. Those are things you know. You have to do it all the time. Don't need it to multiply and divide fractions. I don't need common denominators. But when I'm adding or subtracting them, I have to have them. Next year, remember that I went crazy right now telling you this. And it may help you remember, wait a minute, I gotta have a common denominator when I'm adding or subtracting fractions. Good. Let's look over this. Section 3.3 says it, adding and subtracting fractions. To add or subtract two fractions with a common denominator, if they have the common denominator, you notice they put that in italics. The letters are leaning over to the right. That means take notice. Add or subtract the numerators and write the sum or difference of the numerators over the denominator. It stays the same. If I have 2/5 of the pizza and you give me 1 more fifth of the pizza, then I have 3/10 of the pizza? No, I have 3/5. We don't add denominators. They stay the same. Okay? Now, to add or subtract two fractions with different denominators, first, rewrite the fraction using the least common denominator. First. You have to have a common denominator. Find one. Then add or subtract. Okay, David, here we go. Example number 1 says find the sum or difference. Is this a sum or is it a difference?
It is a difference.
A difference because it's subtracted. Do they have a common denominator?
Yes.
Great. Write it down. Now subtract the two top numbers. 4 minus 1.
3.
Problem simplified. Done. Okay. Now. What? Oh, I'm sorry, Daniel. I squiggled it out. There we go. First.
Do we have to write that down like that?
First.
The whole thing?
No, it's going to be online. Okay, but you need this now. You need this. Okay. Let me go up a little higher. Vivian. It says find the sum or difference. In B, is this a sum or is it a difference?
Sum.
It's a sum. Do they have a common denominator?
No.
They do not. I need to rewrite them with a common denominator. Vivian, what's the smallest number that 3 and 8 both go into? Not 21, 24. Okay? So I'm going to write 24 here and 24 here. Remember, we know how to find these common denominators. We use the ladder. You can put 3 and 8. Is there a number that goes into them both? No, that goes into both of them. No, there's not. So we just multiply them, and we get 24. Now let me ask you something, Vivian. What did I multiply the 3 by to get 24?
8.
So I need to multiply the numerator by 8. And what do I get?
8.
8. All right, thank you. Hannah, what did I multiply the 8 by to get 24?
3.
So I need to multiply the numerator by 3. And what does that give me? 9. Now, Aiden, do I have a common denominator?
Yes.
Write it down. 8 plus 9?
8 plus 9 is 17.
Put it on top. Can I reduce this fraction, Aiden? Is there something that goes into 17 and 24?
No.
Then that is my answer. Good. This is a piece of cake. You guys can nail this every time. All right? Now, I'm going to pause it. I don't want to rush. I don't want to rush. Slow and steady. I'm going to end this video. We'll finish C on the next video.